What is going on, all of you music lovers and dungeon crawlers out there in the world? I am Mega Amster. Thank you for watching this YouTube video. Whether you are a new or returning viewer, I appreciate you being here. And today I want to talk about an upcoming game from the developers, like you just saw, that brought us Crypt of the NecroDancer and the Cadence of Hyrule Zelda kind of collaboration that they did with Nintendo. And this newest game that is coming out in just about, I believe it's a week as of this recording, is Crypt of the NecroDancer, which is from the same team, and instead of that dungeon crawling aspect, they're looking into more of an actual rhythm-based game here. But I want to go into 5 reasons why you might want to be interested in this game. I am definitely pre-ordering this and picking this up because this seems up my alley, but I want to give you a few reasons why you might be interested. So let's just, with that out of the way, let's just start getting into this list here. First of all, we got to talk about the art style, right? I love how cartoonish this looks. I love the character designs that they're showing off here that Brace Yourself Games have worked on here. With Crypt of the NecroDancer, it was a lot more like pixel art, which, you know, for some people might prefer that for sure. And this is deviating away from that pixel art style into more of like a hand-drawn 2D, but colorful art style. Like, I really appreciate just how like clean this art style looks. It reminds me a lot of Shantae, which I love the art style for those games, especially the more recent ones that have deviated a little bit away from the pixel art aesthetic. But I still think it looks really clean, very colorful. I mean, in terms of like a rhythm game like this, you want it to be more colorful, right? And to kind of stand out, especially with some of the music notes as they're coming down. You want to be able to distinguish between them and just kind of, you know, be able to appreciate the beauty of the game. And I think this game, this art style really nails it. It's almost like it has like a rough like sketch-like look to it, which I really appreciate. I mean, indie games to me usually have fantastic art styles in a lot of different cases and so varied as well. And this one just looks really colorful and creative in terms of its art style here. But of course, that is one reason why you might be interested in this game. But the biggest reason here at number 2 that you're probably going to be interested in this game is the gameplay itself, right? Because especially if you're a fan of Brace Yourself Games' previous works with Crypt of the NecroDancer, with Cadence of Hyrule, this is going to be completely different, right? This is an actual rhythm game. There's no dungeon crawling elements to it, which for some of you may be a bit of a bummer. However, if you're like me, I liked Crypt of the NecroDancer. I just really struggled with the gameplay. I love the idea, for example, with Hi-Fi Rush, of like combining rhythm with other game genres, but for me, just the dungeon crawler aspect was just so tricky for me to keep with the beat in terms of movement and attacking in that game, and I never got very far as a result. I have not played Cadence of Hyrule, so I don't know if they improved it. I'm sure they did in that version, but this honestly appeals to me more. You know, I want to get into more rhythm-based games here, and this straight up seems like a rhythm game in line with some of the other ones that you've played. I mean, that whole segment with the lines here pretty much look very similar to like a simplified version of Guitar Hero almost, which I appreciate. But there is, you know, definitely a battling aspect. We see like boss fights based on the rhythmic elements, which that's really cool to see. So that makes it stand out and be unique. And also some mini games sprinkled throughout. As you saw, there was a mini game there where they were kind of doing these yoga poses. That almost makes me think of like a Rhythm Heaven type of thing. So it kind of might be taking some DNA from games like Guitar Hero, Rhythm Heaven, other ones, and kind of mashing them with the Crypt of the NecroDancer IP spin to it, which I really like. I think this is going to be like a simple, short rhythm game, but with like a lot of personality, a lot of charm. So I'm looking forward to it. And there seems to be like more, like we just saw like a dodge there that Cadence just did, like, so that could be interesting. So not necessarily just hitting notes on the time, but like movements to the time of it, which, you know, is something they carried over from Crypt of the NecroDancer. So that's at least cool to see. It's different. It stands out from Crypt of the NecroDancer. If you wanted to follow up to that game, this is not quite what that's going to be. But if you're like me and actually this gameplay seems more approachable, then like, I'm all here for it. You know what I mean? That definitely seems like it might be one you're interested in. So that's the second reason why you might be interested in this game. The third, of course, kind of tied to the gameplay, but very important for a rhythm game, is the music. Danny Baranowksy, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name there. Fantastic composer. Absolutely love the Crypt of the NecroDancer soundtrack. From what I've heard of Cadence of Hyrule, that one's also really good. He's just a great composer. I love the Crypt of the NecroDancer soundtrack, like I said, and I imagine, I haven't heard too much of the music so far in this game here, but I imagine it's going to be an absolute banger. Actually, you know what I could do? Let me real quick pause this Crypt of the NecroDancer music and let's actually like unmute the trailer here. Okay, so that one's a remix of the Crypt of the NecroDancer music, right? Okay, so they might be, I'm sure there are original tracks in this game, but, oh, sorry, you can't hear this. There we go. Apologies for that last minute thing. This voice acting, that's funny. But just, yeah, this is a remix. I forget what song it was from Crypt of the NecroDancer. Remind me in the comments if you remember which one it is. So it sounds like there's at least going to be remixes of Crypt of the NecroDancer music in this game, and I'm sure some original tracks as well. And look at all the, you've got a whole colorful cast of characters here too, but you need great music for a game like this. And from this little tease here from the reveal trailer, it seems like there's going to be really good music here. So definitely looking forward to that. Let me put the other music back on here. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to checking out the music selection in this game, because as a rhythm game, you want really good music, right? That's like, it's almost like tied to the gameplay. It really is, right? So you really want good music to be able to bob along to, like high energy music to really get into it. And Danny Baranowksy, fantastic composer from the work that I've listened to in Crypt of the NecroDancer, so I'm sure his work, his rearrangements, and I assume new tracks here are going to be as good, if not even better. Who knows? You know what I mean? But it looks like it'll be a really, really fun time to be able to listen to this. I hope they put this on streaming services, because I would love to listen to this soundtrack alongside as well. But third reason why you might want to get this game, the music for sure. The fourth reason why you might be interested in this game is the pedigree of the studio, right? The fact that they had such a great game concept to have Nintendo agree to collaborate with them and to lend them the Zelda IP for Cadence of Hyrule, like that's honestly kind of nuts. A lot of indie studios can't credit themselves with that. The only other one I can think of at the moment is Way Forward with the Advance Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. Let me know in the comments below if I'm missing any there. It's really great to see. It honestly is super great to see. And just this is a talented studio, you know what I mean? Starting with Crypt of the NecroDancer. I know they have other games as well. They also self-publish now. Let me know if you've played any of their other games in the comments below besides Crypt of the NecroDancer and besides Cadence of Hyrule, because I'd be curious. I've never played any of those myself. But they seem like really, like a really good studio, really good publisher there. And I mean, there's clearly a pedigree here in terms of the talent at this studio. So I am confident that they will make at least a fun game with this go around. I don't know if they've made like just straight up rhythm games before, but I mean, considering how they were able to make a rhythm game / dungeon crawler, I think going from that to just a core rhythm game, I think they'll be able to handle that. So definitely another reason to get this game is just like, we know there's talent at the studio and they make great games. So another reason to buy it and maybe check it out. The final reason here is just the fact for supporting indies, right? One thing I'm trying to go into almost as a goal for 2025, it was a goal of mine for 2024 as well, was to try to support and play more indie games over AAA games, and I'm trying to double down on those efforts and going into that even more. And this, because this is such, you know, a studio that we know makes talented games, like, it's going to be great to jump in here and actually, you know, kind of support those studios in their endeavors and hopefully get them to, if it sells well enough, continue and make even more games in the future. So that would just be great to see. There's a lot of pedigree here with that. So, you know, it's like, I don't know, there's something to me about like supporting indies that just feels nice. You know what I mean? I mean, this is a bigger indie studio considering they self-publish now. Bigger than like a lot of like smaller studios, of course. But it's still just like, it feels good to like be able to support that endeavor, because like indie games are so creative. I mean, literally look at this game. It looks absolutely gorgeous in motion, and it looks like it'll be really fun to play. You know, it's just to be able to support future games like this, especially in a industry where AAA games are taking so long to develop and there are layoffs left and right. It's like, it's great to see studios like this kind of seem through the cracks and be able to put out games like this that seem very approachable. So I'm very much looking forward to this game. But with that, I mean, that's going to do it here. I mean, just a quick recap. Like, of course, the art style looks fantastic. The gameplay itself is the core thing here. You're either into it or you're not into it. A lot of people aren't into rhythm games, and you know what? That's okay. But it seems like there's still going to be a slight combat element to it, like you would expect in Crypt of the NecroDancer, just not the dungeon crawling aspect. So if you're into that, another reason to check it out. Of course, the music's going to be fantastic. Please, Danny Baranowksy, put that on streaming services. I hope he gets that up, because I would love to listen to it. Another reason would just be the pedigree of Brace Yourself games themselves. They've clearly proven themselves with previous games they've done. And, you know, final reason, just supporting indies. Supporting indies is always fun. It's a good time. But with that, I know it's a short one this time, but that's going to do it for this video here. Let me know in the comments below. Are you pre-ordering this game? I believe it comes out on February 5th, at least in the US. I imagine it's a global launch, but I know it's coming to Switch. It's going to be on Steam, maybe other platforms too, but I think I'm going to get this one on Switch because I think it'll look really fun in handheld mode and be able to perform really well there. But let me know what platform you're getting it on, if you're getting the game, or let me know if I've convinced you, or if you're not interested. Let me know why. Let me know the reasons why. I'm always curious to hear your thoughts and opinions. But with that, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you all again so much for watching. I will catch you all on the next video or live stream. And until then, keep on rocking.